this point.
Supposed to be.
Yeah, not doesn't exist. Good morning again. Welcome. If you're just joining us, it's 10:33 by time here in the studio. It is Super 92.7 FM, and you are listening to Tech Spaces. My name is Chema BBB. I'm called the Big, Bold, and Beautiful, and
I'm the gift to God as your radio spy, passing of the airways one day at a time.
And we are not alone because we have our tech guru here in person of the founder of Resolytics, which is your edtech and business analytics company that focuses on teaching tech skills to help people land entry-level roles, deploying analytics solutions for businesses, operating B2B and B2C models, offering services like data analysis, AI automation, and business intelligence solutions. We have in person Mr. Harrison Yakubu.
Hi, Harrison.
And the crowd goes, wow.
Scream.
Well, I'm trying to match up the energy. It's not working.
Harrison, every time he comes to the studio, he's always asking, waiting when I drink. Did you all drink something this morning? The energy is always 100%.
We have not even had coffee because no one decided to deliver us coffee, cappuccino, frappuccino, or any of the chinos.
Oh, wow.
I know.
I need a cappuccino.
Okay,
Honestly.
let's go. So,
well, today on Tech Spaces, we had started talking about AI agents last week.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Harrison had we had a full conversation getting to know what AI agents were. And he said something by the end of the show last week saying, you know what, AI is not going to come take your jobs. It's those that are, informed and those that use AI that are going to come take your jobs.
Yeah.
So you as an individual has to keep yourself up to date with all of the AI, artificial intelligence conversations and usage so that you can help yourself grow and your business as well.
Absolutely. And as we were going along in the week on our Jejeli Road, I think it was Sunday, was it? We saw a story in the news and we discussed with Harrison and I said, you know what? Yes, let's touch on it. It's a story that reads, Press Freedom, AI under scrutiny as National Assembly media executives discuss future of journalism. Now, the intersection of artificial intelligence, AI, and press freedom took center stage on Friday last week at the National Assembly because the National Assembly, legal experts, and media professionals gathered in Abuja to mark World Press Freedom Day 2025. Now, the event was hosted by the Center for Journalism, Innovation, and Development in partnership with Conrad Adenwa Steftung CAS. They explored the opportunities and the threats posed by AI to journalism under the theme Reporting in the New Brave World. Let's get to that. Hi, Harrison Yakubu again. Just say hi. Hi.
Hello, everyone. Good morning.
This story scared us.
Yes.
So we had to come to you and say, help. They said that they've sponsored a bill to ensure that AI development is rooted in ethics and protects privacy, human rights, and national security, and that they plan to launch a legislative network for open parliament and press freedom to bridge the gap between lawmakers and the media. Now, how should we be scared of information with AI and journalism?
So if for any reason you are supposed to be scared, with what has happened, should even give you a little bit of comfort. Why have I said that? When I was last week, I mentioned something about one of the skill sets that will be needed moving forward in the fourth industrial revolution, right? One of that is AI ethicists, right? So this has just made it obvious that the government is actually thinking in that direction. And just recently, if you've noticed, I think I've forgotten the company that fined Facebook about $200 million for data breach and, of course, opening up of PIIs.
Yes.
Right? So these are the things that we are looking out for. Of course, so data governance and, of course, AI governance are the things we are looking out for. And this is the right step for the government, right? So you should be relaxed that the government has your best interest at heart.
I mean,
well, at this level,
because funny,
okay.
I had to run to get my phone because I did see something over the weekend, and it just, as soon as we started talking about this, I see that an Australian radio station has come under fire for reportedly using AI-generated female host for 6 months without mentioning before listeners started questioning her identity.
This is not the first one I've heard. Now, a couple of years ago, I heard about some stations that wanted to automate with AI, literally run the shows by AI. And I know that internet, yes, I think it was an internet radio station. They're talking about automating and running a full show with AI.
Yeah.
Are we going to be... do you think that Nigeria is ready for that anytime
ready?
Okay, so the thing is, I've always said it, that Nigeria as a country or as a state is not ready. The Nigerians are ready. At least the Nigerians that I interface with, I interact with,
That
they are
you
ready.
interface with, okay.
But the question is not whether we're ready or not.
Whether
I
it's
think the
coming.
question should be:
Is it coming?
It has come. It's not if it's coming or not. It's here. It's here to stay.
Wow.
I mean, we are already in the 4th industrial revolution. Already looking at the 5th industrial revolution, right?
So that is in sight, in view.
Like it's close. It's close. I mean, for example, we're already experiencing things like virtual environment. I don't know if you've heard about metaverse.
Of course.
Metaverse,
things
yes,
like that.
yes,
I
we
mean,
have.
So for the 4th industrial revolution is a fusion of both cyber, physical, and biological nuances, right? But in terms of the 5th industrial revolution, it's going to be all like we're going to be living together. AI and humans will be living. We're going to have a lot of cyborgs. Just prepare for that.
We're going to have a lot
A lot of cyborgs.
We're going to take a break. I
Wait,
can't.
wait.
That's in the 5th industrial revolution. But let's focus on the 4th industrial revolution. So, the government, I think, is making the right step in the right direction.
Okay.
But it doesn't stop at just regulations, right? Are they investing right in the right set of people, in the right skill set? Are they building institutions? In my mind, I've always said this. I mean, that's one of the things I have in mind to do. I wish I could get someone to sponsor that dream.
I know, right?
To have a research institute. I mean, why would Nigeria not have a standing research institute? I mean, that if we don't have it right now,
Wait,
we are way
I
behind.
thought we did.
I think we do have one along when you're going to have
Yes.
Belkuta.
But
I
it
think I did
depends
see
on
one.
what research.
What research you're doing. But we're gonna talk about this a little more. We have to go on this rather short break. But when we come back, it is still the Super Breakfast Show, and Tech Spaces is live.
Super FM 92.7.
Once in a while, an exceptional talent arises to take the comedic scenery to another level. Bird in the southeast, Verge in the south-south, and now in the southwest. Lagos, are you ready? As MC Monica presents Who is Chisom? Get ready for a night of rib-cracking, jaw-breaking comedy featuring the best of the comic and music world. Performing live, AY, Kenny Black, MC Shakara, MC Casino, Abaria.com, and lots more. Musical performances by Timi Dakolo, Terry Akbala, Benji Sizizaki, and many more. Venue, Echo Hotels and Suites. Date, Sunday, May 18th, 2025. Red carpet 6 p.m. and main event starts by 8 p.m. Regular 5,000 naira. VIP 30,000 naira. Silver table 2 million naira. Gold table 3 million naira. Get your tickets online at www.ariatickets.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please call 0706-955-1276. This event is packaged by Landray Maku Events. Media partner, Super FM.
In today's fast-paced world, staying ahead of the curve is crucial. Are you ready to connect with the latest in business and economics? Tune in to The Business Connect, a dynamic program that delivers in-depth analysis of Nigeria's top business headlines and the global trends shaping the world economy. Each week, we bring you the latest updates on everything from financial markets and trade policies to entrepreneurship and cutting-edge innovations. Hear from industry leaders and experts as they break down the topics that matter most in the world of business. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a business professional, or simply curious about the evolving world of commerce, The Business Connect connects you to the pulse of business at home and abroad. Stay informed, stay ahead, make smarter decisions. Tune in to The Business Connect every Monday, 10:30 to 11 a.m. Because in business, knowledge is power. The Business Connect, only on Super 92.7 FM. Don't miss it. One family, one radio.
You're listening to the Super Breakfast Show that gets your day started right here on Super 92.7 FM.
Okay, so 92.7 Super FM. Today is like we're just going on Harrison Yakubu today.
Yeah.
We're going on live on him. Anyways, okay, yes, he did talk about research institutes, and yes, we do have a lot, but we don't have. I don't see an AI Research Institute. That's where you're going, right?
Right. So the government has a program called 3MTT, 3 Million Tech Talents. That's a very good initiative by the Minister of Digital Economy. Very wonderful. I'm even surprised it's happening in this regime. Thank glory to God, right? Yeah. So I don't think that is enough, right? Well, of course, they are building a couple of other stuff. They have Gaming Institute. They have VR Gaming Institute, also things like that. But I'm looking forward to us having a research institute that is heavily bent on AI and automation. You understand? Because eventually we will be living with robots. I don't want a situation where Nigeria.
Harrison. The way Harrison just says these things.
Used to put the fear into us.
Have you seen recent movies of AI and chat boxes? And
they are all traumatic.
Quite.
But you have to deal with it.
Remember the guy that his phone became his girlfriend?
And his girlfriend became his phone.
At this point, there are too many questions to ask. If this,
I know the one you were talking about. Sorry, just
okay.
That's it. I mean, Elon Musk created AI girlfriends. So what are you talking about? we already have AI wombs in the US. We already have AI wombs. We already have AI girlfriends.
So you say
No,
Nigerians?
don't
No,
do
you
this.
say Nigerians are ready, but Nigeria isn't ready.
It's not
Because
ready,
even to be
yeah.
honest, they just started automating entry into the country through the border. I can't remember the name of the border. They said they started having conversations or training some individuals to be tech savvy, to avail them the opportunity to look deep if somebody is viable to enter into Nigeria.
Tech savviness now to look at how
My
people enter into Nigeria.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's
You
a
see,
good
I
thing.
want to talk
In
about
fact.
it and journalism, but go ahead.
Okay, so I believe that's even a good step in the right. That should tell you that whether Nigeria is ready or not, change
It's
is
coming.
here. So I believe what's happening
come.
is a couple of the guys at the helm of affairs are now coming to terms with the fact that this thing is here to stay. I mean, fintech is taking over commercial banks. EdTech is taking over commercial, regular institution, schools, right? A lot of things are changing. In fact, I mentioned last week that there is currently an invention that is going to take away education in a very short period of time, right? I mean, so if all of these things are true, and they are true, right? Because it's no longer hypotheses. They are not just work in progress. They are work already existing.
That's why you told us how people and an app now can take over the
Someone can post to be
real
you.
estate.
Oh yeah,
real estate
one that he
company.
says.
You know, they search for buyers. You can just use an app and just come on. Okay, so we journalists, what are we gonna do? But you see, because of a lot of fake news and a lot of thanks to Trump and his last tenure, not even this one, but that one. But yeah, down to this one, which is worse. But because of things like that, we're afraid of AI taking over journalism because of the spread of, well, not just false news, but skewed or biased news to suit whoever is paying the right sum.
And will AI follow the ethics of journalism?
Yeah.
Because there are ethics
are the
that
questions.
govern the country, the world and the country individually.
Remember, I told you guys about when you're
That's
building,
how he does this voice.
when you're building an AI agent, for example, you're building it with a knowledge base. Of course, that knowledge base is you're going to feed it with the information of journalism, what's
In
the
Nigeria.
ethics of journalism, right? In fact, AI is even not able to be bribed, which means it's even better, it's even more preferred to humans. Humans can be bribed, and humans can change the news to, like you said, to favor whomever is paying. But you can't really pay an AI.
Sorry, sir, it's the same AI that do Photoshop.
Okay.
Do remove. So if I remove a certain bit of information, you can actually skew that news story to favor somebody.
whatever.
Are we
Or
there?
whatever
Are we not?
situation.
So, but humans do that already.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
AI is
yeah, but you
capable of
can
doing
catch
The thing
it.
is, you can catch humans.
Yes,
it's
to a
even
large
more
extent.
difficult to get AI to do that because AI works on data.
But you
and it uses
reconfigure the data.
statistic-
Yes,
Couldn't
you
you- no, you
reconfigure
can
the
actually
statistics
reconfigure.
and the data that you want it to take
this,
in.
this is where the human interference
comes
comes
in.
in.
Right.
Of
So
course.
we need humans regardless.
Well,
And they are also
whether-
the bane of the situation.
Actually,
Yeah, that's
actually,
the
it's humans. If you leave now, the truth of the matter is, if you leave AI to
love
be
it.
autonomous on its own, it's never going to give you skewed or biased news. right? It is when the humans interfere
Depending
with
on
the
the data and
algorithm.
statistics that is put into
It's when the
the-
humans interfere with the algorithm. That is when it gives you those cute news.
What is the way forward? How do we as journalists apply AI? You know, I told you that me and ChatGPT, we are still far from being friends.
No, so you should become friends with it.
How easy is
Fall
it to
in love.
use? You were telling us
It's
about that
very
before we
easy. I
started.
mean, you can just search for anything. So there's something called one-shot prompting. That's the lamest way to use it, right? I mean, you can start with that.
Dummies.
You can start with that using one-shot prompting. So you could just say something like, "Hey, ChatGPT, we can try out something right now. Is there something you want to learn, something you want to know about? You could try it out on the screen, type exactly what I tell you to type, and then read out whatever you get from
But
it."
I
guess
will
what?
have to open the
I actually
ChatGPT
use
app.
Yeah. Oh,
ChatGPT.
you don't have it?
I didn't
Wow.
say. I say I would have to open it, right?
It's not an app. You could just use the web app.
Web app. There's a web app.
Just
It's how both of us are on you for this one.
because it's
I've
related to
used-
journalism, eh?
I've used ChatGPT quite a number
Yeah.
of times, but sometimes I realize that I don't think that it makes us think as much as we should be thinking.
That's the idea.
Why? Shouldn't we be using our brains half the time?
Wait. So this conversation. we're
Ask
having-
anything.
No,
Ask
I wanna
anything.
ask a
Maybe.
very okay.
And guess what?
so-
It would
so-
source up
so-
all the information
You
from
said,
different sides.
aren't we supposed to be thinking
Yeah.
with our brains
Yeah.
half the time, right? So
Yeah.
let me ask you a question.
Please go on.
Are you supposed to be lifting heavy weights? Let's say when you're trying to build
Of
create a
course,
building. Are you supposed to
you
be
know that's a different
So
analogy,
that's
right?
the same thing.
It's not the same
We had this
analogy.
conversation last week.
I know, but it's not the same analogy. Because,
is,
I mean,
because
guess what?
okay.
If a child can just go to ChatGPT and say, ChatGPT, write up my blah, 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 blah for my final year course, and ChatGPT just pours everything out. There's space for plagiarism there.
That's I mentioned here already that once AI takes over fully, I mean humans will become fully humans for those who understand what it is, right? I said one of the main skills that will not be left for humans is emotional intelligence.
Okay.
How we can coexist as humans and leave machines to do our cerebral work. Which means instead of me thinking of how I'm going to do a forecast, right, using Excel, as maybe, let's say I'm a CFO of a company, I'm thinking of how I'm going to do a forecast using Excel. All I have to do is just write prompts, and it does that for me, and I can have time to play with my kids.
I asked a question.
What's that?
I said, if AI takes over, what are the chances of giving biased information as news?
All right, so
And
read
then
out.
it says, if AI takes over news production, the chances of biased information remain significant, depending on several key factors.
Okay.
Training data bias,
Okay.
algorithm design, and he explains, because
Yeah.
of time, I want to be able to
Yeah,
explain. Algorithm design, lack of contextual understanding, manipulation by human operators, echo chambers. So the summary is that AI has the potential to reduce human error and bias, but if not carefully designed and monitored, it can also spread or worsen bias, especially at scale. Would you like to explore how we could make AI powered news more trustworthy and fair?
I'm glad that you're falling in love with ChatGPT.
No, ChatGPT,
I see
ask
the way
it-
you're
ask
smiling.
it anything.
Like
I am smiling
your
like,
husband
okay,
like the
let's
guy
do
asking you out.
Okay, you see, we just got a message right now
Yeah.
with Dr. Connor saying, heavyweight and brain are different, please. Thank you, Dr. Connor. I was just saying
What?
this right now.
What did I miss
were-
when I
okay,
was
oh.
ChatGPT?
So we had a conversation about how I think that sometimes ChatGPT could take away the thinking faculty of people.
Yes.
Because you don't get to think a lot. So guess what? When you said that you hadn't started using AI, and then I was using AI like steady, I had to say, you know what? Let me take a few steps back and try to analyze things from a different perspective. Not just going to AI at every point of AI. So what's this? AI, what's this? I'm like, no. That's not me. That has never been me. And before I even got on the ChatGPT train, it took a long time. I still am not even fully invested in it. So, and then when you
so
use the
you're a late
analogy,
adopter.
yes, and when you use the analogy of heavyweights carrying this, she had to say this: heavyweight and brain are different. Please.
Oh, well, so that's still human thinking. Remember, we have to take this into cognizance.
Okay.
When calculators were created, the professors of mathematics actually came out on the streets of the US
To fight against,
fight against
But now
But
they want to
today-
co-sign.
sci-fi calculators.
Do you
were not
understand?
even created
Not
then.
even sci-fi calculator, just a
Yes.
little bit above abacus.
Yeah.
But I don't even think that. I don't.
Just a little above our
I know.
because it's deep.
I don't think that AI can even take the place of, I mean, journalism and
It's
journalism.
going to do it
It can't.
effortlessly.
No,
It
you
is.
know why? With investigation, with research, no,
What kind of
They
investigation?
have the investigation. They will do the investigation faster than you will because AI. I'm sorry. This is me just having a brainwave.
So I don't
moment.
have to talk anymore.
No, but you know,
Thinking
why?
about it, if you insert the right information into the system, for instance, AI can actually catch up on your CCTV surveillance faster than you will get the information about it.
How many CCTV surveillance do we have?
Now
in
you and me,
Nigeria?
they talk that one. Your camera phone. AI can, again,
So-
this is why, when we're having conversations, when we're having conversations and then you say something and then you go to your phone and next thing is popped up. There are like 5 different options of
No,
that.
that's even that. I can't understand.
They're
how
already,
that-
they're
So
already
now- so-
around the corner.
So I mean, journalism is the profession of gathering, writing, editing, and disseminating news information. Now, if something is happening in the National Assembly, can AI go there to go and gather the information? Of course not. We humans. That's why I'm saying
their
that.
phones are there.
I
They
understand.
are going to be sipping into the conversation. They have more
why
information
should
than you
they
do.
sip into the conversation?
Oh.
That is breaking. The code of conduct that is
No.
under privacy. That's it. That's
That's
what.
why there's AI governance. That's why there's
How
data
many?
governance.
No, I understand the governance that there is,
Okay.
right? Because you explained it even last week. You talked about this governance thing. But at the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, it is seeping into our privacy.
It is.
It is. It's doing that,
So what
and
do you
which
want
is
to do about
wrong.
it?
What do you want to
It's
do
wrong.
about it?
Guess what? Guess
What
what?
do you
Let
want
me
to
let
do
me
about
let me
it?
tell you something. I like that this is like shots fired. So one thing I did as one of my projects in school was looking
Yeah.
at the Guardian of London. So the Guardian of London is a newspaper house that actually swept away the news of the world in the UK. Now,
Okay.
the news of the world, there was a murder situation about a young girl who was, I think, 16. She was killed. And so investigations were launched into that. And nobody could find her, who her killer was. Now, the news of the world used the back room to find her phone and invaded her privacy by going through her chats. Finally found who killed her, caught the murderer, and then posted on the pages of the newspaper. And they were applauded by the government. Oh my God, they solved this murder. Guess what? The news of the world went down and said, you know what? I don't think that they got this information through the right means. And then they investigated. And just a few days after, they published how they had broken the code of ethics and the code of conduct. Until today, the news of the world does not exist because of the Guardian of London. So now, if AI is seeping into our conversations, that's invasion of privacy.
But you give it the access.
Oh,
When you
have a phone,
when you
when
click
you have a
on
phone, there's
I
access.
agree.
Accept. I agree.
When you
That's
click on I
it.
accept, when
Guess
you
what?
click, when they try, of course, it's doing what's called web scraping.
Why?
It's trying to understand your human behavior, but you are the one
Simple.
accepting.
Yeah.
You're the one giving it access to you. That's
see
part
that,
of the
Yakubu?
governance.
Harrison Yakubu, please help me. Have you noticed that if you open a page right now, they quickly go to consent and something else? There's
That's
another thing
that's
on-
what
and
that's
it didn't used to be this much, but every single
Every
page you
single
open
page,
on the
you have to
web,
agree.
it asks you to consent or they can't give you
Simi-
access.
Simi posted
What
something
is
on
going on
Twitter.
with that?
that's under GDPR and NPR policies.
What? In
GDPR,
English?
General Data Protection Rights
Okay.
Regulation,
Okay.
and then NDPR, that's for Nigeria Data Protection Regulation. So these are the rights. So there are several levels to these things. So you must, I must be able to, for me to collect your information, I must be able to ask for your consent. You're right. So there's the right for consent, and you have to give me the consent.
Ask
Several
app
other
not to
things,
track.
right?
But
So
don't
you-
track my movements.
No, but yes,
if you
but
tell
all
it,
of
the
this,
truth of the matter is, if you tell it not to track, it wouldn't.
better.
no, but it's not
But
that one I'm
in
talking
order
about. I'm
for-
talking about the consent and manage these things. If you click on the other one, there are 2 of them, and you know what I'm
Okay.
talking about if you've gone on the web anytime recently. If you click on the other one that says manage access or something, it actually does not allow you proper access to that page. But you have, so
yeah.
when you consent,
You
then
then
it
gives you
allows you
access.
Full
access to the
access.
Exactly.
page.
Yeah.
So
That's the
like,
consent it's getting from you. That's what GDPR says.
it's sharp forcing consent out of you.
Yes.
Well, it's not. If you don't want to use, then you.
I need the information
think-
right
Get
now.
out.
So the thing is, this thing
like,
is,
get
the
out of
thing
the room
is,
or-
because you're building. I didn't want to go this route, but I'll just talk about it a little bit. I'll
Let's.
just touch on it a little bit.
Yes.
So, the truth of the matter is, the powers that be are building something called the 50 minutes or 50 second city, right?
Huh?
Right.
Hey.
I won't dig into it. Don't worry.
Lord.
I won't dig into it. It's quite. It's,
Give us the
it's-
surface.
It's a touch on some subliminal levels that I'm not ready to. I
Okay,
don't think
surface.
I'm prepared yet to
Surface.
bring that kind of story
Information
to the world. Right. So, but in order for them to achieve all of these things, they will need to gather your data. And
Ha.
just so you know, the listeners could go Google something called. Anyways, let me just say it. Called the Church of AI. Right. Church of AI was created by Anthony Lewandowski, right? And I think the
Bola.
US is saying
Oh, go on.
they are not consenting to that anymore. But because of my understanding of how the data space works, I understand what Anthony Lewandowski was trying to achieve. So he built a full-on cloud solution that collects data from every other cloud solution. And the three biggest cloud solutions in the world are owned by Microsoft, Amazon, and Google, which is Azure, AWS, and GCP, right? So the truth of the matter is, in order for we're going to get into what was used as mind control tool before now. We are institutions, educational institutions, religious institutions, permit me to get to that point, and several other institutions that were created, even our financial institutions.
Yes.
Permit me to say this, Nigerians listening, even the economics and the economics institutions that were instituted in Africa were meant to make Africa poor. Truth be told.
Hey.
So
Okay.
now, in order for the powers that be to keep maintaining power, they know that there's going to be a revolution, and humans are becoming more enlightened because of the age and time we are in right now.
Right.
Yeah. In order for humans to still remain controlled, they have to devise a means, which means they have to get to the future before you get there. So they created systems in order for them to get your information. Now, one of my friends who always say this one of my friends who's always against things like this said the only way you can now stay away from this is to stay off the internet.
Right. That's why some people will
That
not
is
decide to
the
go
only way.
all the way.
Practically.
No,
So
but